Everyone, I am engineering lead at Enscribe, and today I'm going to show how you can name your contracts on layer 2 chains. So recently ENS has released the NSIP 19, which enables setting primary names on L2 chains like Optimism, Arbitrum, Scroll, Base and Linea. So this is our Enscribe platform. Go to the name contract. So there can be different use cases on how we can set name primary names on L2 chains. So first use case can be you have a contract. Suppose this is my contract which I have deployed on L1 chain and also on Optimism, that is an L2 chain. So there's the same contract address deployed on two different chains and I want to name this contract. So just use generate name and I'm going to use my own ENS parent, and then I will choose L2 chain on which I want to name this contract. So I pasted the contract address. It implements Ownable and also it implements Ownable on the Optimism. So directly we can see this. And once I have chosen the L2 chains, I can name my contract. So I will just start this process. So the process looks like it will create a subname, then set forward resolution and reverse resolution on the L1, and then forward resolution for the Optimism, which is also an L1 transaction. And then the last transaction is switching to Optimism chain and setting an L2 primary name. So as the transactions progress, let's wait for each of this transaction to complete. So this is the first use case, where you have the same contract address on different L2 chains and L1 chains. You can directly, name this contract on all the L2 chains. So if I have added Arbitrum, then it will also, set forward resolution for the Arbitrum and then switching to Arbitrum and setting an L2 prime name. So we can select as many L2 chains as we want. So if you see, the naming contract is successful and I can show you this transaction. So if you see, this was success and it basically set forward resolution for the Arbitrum and this was the coin type. Now if I see this transaction, the last transaction which is done on the Optimism, so basically in this we are setting the reverse resolution, that is primary name, on the Optimism, and this is using the new reverse registrar that is deployed by the ENS. And once this is done, if you close this, you will be taken to the Optimism and you can see, okay, this is my contract and it has this primary name and it's been named on the Optimism, and we can directly, if we want, we can verify the contract from here, and then we can also label this on the OLI, which is we have integrated with Open Label Initiative. Now this was the first use case. The second use case can be, just want to name your contract. You deployed a contract on the L2 and you just want to name this contract on the L2. You haven't deployed it on the L1. You have just deployed on the L2. So if you can see, I pasted my contract address and on L1 this contract does not extend ownable or anything. But if you see the second message, which is contract implements ownable on Optimism. So basically I just want to name this contract on the L2 chain, that is Optimism. So same, I will generate a name. I will choose my ENS parent and I will choose the Optimism. And if I want to select any other chain, you can select basically anyone from Optimism, Arbitrum, Scroll, Base or Linea. So right now since I have deployed it on the Optimism, so I will just select this. And if you see this option, skip L1 naming, so what it will do, it will not create a reverse or forward resolution for the L1. It will just create forward and reverse resolution on the for the Optimism, because I have just deployed it on the Optimism. So I will click on the name on name contract. It will create a subname. Let me just, so these two, the transaction creating subname and set forward resolution is on the L1, and the final, which is like switching to optimism and setting a primary name, that is on the L2. So it always starts from the L1 because the core ENS infrastructure lies on the L1, and the primary name setting for each L2 happens on the new reverse registrar which is being deployed on each L2 chain. So let's wait for this transaction to complete. I can show this transaction also. So if you see, this was on the Sepolia L1, and we have set for this coin type, which is for the optimism, we have set the forward resolution. And similarly, the last transaction which was on optimism, so we set the primary name. So the naming was successful. Like this, we can name any contract on any L2 chain, and we can basically skip the L1 naming there. So this was my primary name, the contract address, and the contract deployer, everything. And also, if you want to check out this name in the ENS app, you can check this out. So this is the chain ID of the Optimism Sepolia. So Sepolia chain ID. So if you search it, it is the same chain ID. So we have set the address for this Optimism Sepolia. So I hope you all will try out this L2 naming, L2 primary names, and hope you have any feedback. You can connect with us on the Discord or Telegram channel. Thank you.